This video is on making peace with your past. Let's dive right in. Hey, what's up? What's up? What's up? Welcome. I'm Dr. TJ, a Harvard trained surgeon and a motivational speaker. In this channel, it is all about you. Tiny concrete cell, 8 feet by 7 feet. A thin straw mat on the cold floor. Every day breaking rocks in a lime quarry until his eyes were permanently damaged. No newspapers, no contact with the outside world, one letter every 6 months. This man would spend 27 years in these conditions. 27 years for fighting for freedom. And when he finally walked out of that prison, he chose forgiveness over revenge. He became the first black president of his nation, a Nobel Peace Prize winner, one of the most iconic leaders in human history. Welcome back to the channel. Today, we are diving into one of history's most powerful stories of transformation, how one man turned his prison into a university, his pain into wisdom, and his suffering into blueprint for an entire nation's healing. Hit that subscribe button because what you're about to learn could change how you see your own past forever. Before the prison, before the struggle, before the legend, there was a boy named Roli Lala. Born in 1918 in a tiny village in South Africa, young Roli Lala was part of Thembu royalty. His birth name means troublemaker in the local language. Prophetic, right? When he was just 7 years old, his teacher gave him an English name on his first day of school. This was standard practice under British colonial rule. After his father died when the boy was around 12 years old, he was raised by the Thembu regent. The young boy would sit and listen to elders tell stories of his ancestors' bravery in wars of resistance. These stories planted seeds that would later bloom into a lifelong commitment to freedom. He became the first person in his family to attend school. He excelled. He studied law at the university. In 1952, he and his friend Oliver Tambo opened his country's first black law firm. Everything was building in the right direction. He was educated, respected, making a difference, fighting the brutal system of apartheid through the courts, through protests, through peaceful resistance. But the path ahead would demand everything he had and more. Here's where the story takes a turn that would break most people. In 1962, at the age of 44, this man was arrested. The charge? Leaving the country illegally and inciting workers to strike. The real reason? It is said that he was leading the fight against apartheid, the brutal system of racial segregation that treated black South Africans as less than human. In 1964, at the age of 46, came the Rivonia trial. He and 7 others were convicted of sabotage. The penalty? Life imprisonment. On June 12, 1964, he entered Robben Island Prison as prisoner number 466/64. Let me paint you a picture of what life imprisonment meant for this freedom fighter. A cell measuring 8 feet by 7 feet, damp concrete walls, a straw mat to sleep on. In winter, the cold was unbearable. In summer, the heat suffocating. Every day, he and his fellow political prisoners were forced to break rocks in a lime quarry for years. The glare from the limestone permanently damaged his eyesight because he wasn't allowed to wear sunglasses. But the physical conditions, those were just the beginning. He was allowed one letter every 6 months, one 30-minute visit every 6 months. His mail was heavily censored. Entire sections cut out with scissors until letters were reduced to shreds. In 1968, his mother died. He was forbidden to attend her funeral. In 1969, his eldest son was killed in a car accident. Again, forbidden to attend the funeral. 21 years would pass before he could hold his wife again. His daughters had to wait until they were 16 just to see their father. Most prisoners would have broken. Most would have emerged filled with rage and hatred. But this man, he was forging a different weapon, namely forgiveness. So what happened in that prison? How does someone endure 27 years of suffering and come out not bitter but better? Freedom at the age of 73 years. Imagine that. This prisoner turned Robben Island into what he called the university, a university behind bars. He and his fellow prisoners lectured each other on their areas of expertise. They debated politics, philosophy, and strategy. He even studied Afrikaans, the language of his oppressors, believing that understanding your enemy is the first step to transformation. But here's the most powerful part. He decided that every prison guard was capable of change. He treated them with dignity, with respect, with humanity. And something miraculous happened. Some of those guards, they began to change. They began to question apartheid. They began to see black prisoners not as criminals but as human beings fighting for justice. Then came February 11, 1990. After 27 years, he walked free. Millions around the world watched. What would he do was the question. Would he call for revenge, for violence, for payback? And it was at this moment when he stepped through those prison gates that the world truly learned who this man was. His name, Nelson Mandela. Listen to his own words. As I walked out the door towards the gate that would lead to my freedom, I knew if I didn't leave my bitterness and hatred behind, I'd still be in prison, end quote. Think about that. He understood that real freedom wasn't about the prison walls. It was about the prison in his heart. In 1994, Nelson Mandela became South Africa's first black president, elected in the country's first fully democratic election. And what did he do with that power? He invited his white prison guard to his inauguration as an honored guest. He established the Truth and Reconciliation Commission, not to punish, but to heal. He united his divided nation through forgiveness. In 1993, he won the Nobel Peace Prize alongside F.W.D. Clerk, the man who represented the very system that imprisoned him. That's not just making peace with your past. That's transforming your past into a gift for the future. Now let me give you the 3 proven methods Mandela used to make peace with his past. Methods you can start using today. Method number 1, choose your response. Mandela understood something profound. You can't control what happens to you, but you can control what happens within you. In prison, everything was taken from him except one thing, his choice of how to respond. He chose growth over bitterness, education over revenge, hope over despair. Now this week, identify one thing from your past that still triggers you. Then ask, what can I control about my response to this today? Method number 2, see the humanity in your enemies. Mandela said, no one is born hating another person because of the color of his skin or his background or his religion, end quote. He chose to see his oppressors as human beings capable of change. And by doing so, he became the catalyst for their transformation. Think of someone who hurt you. Write down 3 ways they might have been shaped by their own pain or circumstances. This isn't excusing their behavior, it's freeing you from the prison of hatred. Method number 3, turn your pain into purpose. Mandela's 27 years in prison became his greatest teacher. He said, "It is the character of growth that we should learn from both pleasant and unpleasant experiences." End quote. His suffering gave him the moral authority to lead a nation through reconciliation. Complete this sentence: because of what I went through, I now have the unique ability to help others by blank. Fill in the blank. Now the 3 derailers. But watch out, here are 3 things that will derail your healing journey. Derailer number 1, choosing revenge over reconciliation. Mandela said, resentment is like drinking poison and then hoping it will kill your enemies. End quote. Revenge keeps you chained to your past. Reconciliation, on the other hand, sets you free. Derailer number 2, refusing to learn from suffering. Mandela turned prison into a university. If you waste your pain, you stay stuck in it. Derailer number 3, waiting for perfect conditions to forgive. Mandela didn't wait until apartheid ended. He didn't wait until he was released. He chose forgiveness while he was still in the cell. Forgiveness isn't about them, it's about you breaking free. Now the 30-day challenge. Alright, here's your 30-day making peace with your past challenge. The Mandela method. Week number 1, the inventory. Each day, write for 10 minutes about one difficult experience from your past. Don't judge it, just write it. Name it, acknowledge it. Week number 2, the reframe. Take those same experiences and ask, what did this teach me? What strength did I develop because of this? Week number 3, the choice. Write a forgiveness letter. You don't have to send it, but write it anyway. Release the resentment that's keeping you imprisoned. Week number 4, the purpose. Find one way to use your experience to help someone else. Volunteer, mentor, share your story. Turn your wounds into wisdom. Before we wrap up, here are 3 Mandela quotes that will stay with you forever. Quote number 1, forgiveness liberates the soul. It removes fear. That is why it is such a powerful weapon. End quote. Nelson Mandela quote number 2, resentment is like drinking poison and then hoping it will kill your enemies. End quote. Nelson Mandela quote number 3, as I walked out the door toward the gate that would lead to my freedom, I knew if I didn't leave my bitterness and hatred behind, I'd still be in prison. End quote. Listen, I'm not going to sugarcoat this. Making peace with your past is hard. It's one of the most difficult journeys you'll ever take. But if Nelson Mandela can spend 27 years in an 8x7 cell, lose his mother and son without attending their funerals, endure torture and isolation, and still choose forgiveness, then what's possible for you? Your past doesn't define you. It refines you. Here's what I want you to do. Right now, smash that subscribe button and hit the notification bell. Comment below, I choose freedom, if you're ready to start this journey. Next, share this video with one person who needs to hear it. Most importantly, take the first step today. Because here's the truth, you're not really free until you make peace with your own past. Mandela showed us the way. Now it's your turn to walk through that gate. The door to your freedom is open. Will you leave your bitterness behind? I believe you will. I'll see you in the next video.